Hello, my favorite art students. It's me, Miss Friels again, welcoming you to another week of art class. This week, I'm going to invite you to come on a journey with me under the sea. Remember, these next few weeks, we are going to be exploring some life science. Last week, we learned a lot about spiders and how spiders create their beautiful webs. This week, we are going under the sea. So welcome to week 12, Life Science, Under the Sea. I have my guitarra today. I am so excited about our art lesson this week. You know why? Because we are so lucky. We are so fortunate to live in such a beautiful place that we live in. All the way from Monterey, all the way to Santa Cruz, we have a beautiful piece of ocean, a beautiful piece of water called the Monterey Bay. And in the Monterey Bay, we have so many wonderful species of animals. Let me tell you about some of my favorites. We have bottlenose dolphins. We have sea otters. We have humpback whales that travel through our bay on their migratory paths. We have breeding grounds for elephant seals. And also, we have a huge population of great white sharks. What? Did you know that out in our Monterey Bay, we have a large population of great white sharks? In fact, the locals around the Monterey Bay call the month of October Sharktober, because October is a time when many of the great whites are traveling through the Monterey Bay. This week, I'm going to teach you how to draw two of my favorite species of animals in the beautiful ecosystem that we have in Monterey Bay. Monterey Bay is very famous for our beautiful and diverse ecosystem, the natural habitats, the upwelling of the waves and the water, and also the very deep submarine canyons. My two favorite species are the sea otter and the great white shark. This week, I'm going to teach you how to draw a great white shark and a sea otter. So first, let's learn a little bit more about these amazing creatures. Are you ready? Me too. Let's go. Sea otters are mammals just like us. They give birth to live babies and feed their babies milk, and they have fur. The babies don't know how to swim at first, so they spend a lot of time on their mother's belly. Their fur is thick enough to ensure that water doesn't touch their skin. In fact, they have the thickest fur of any mammal. And they sleep so they don't drift away from each other. They will hold hands, interlock their arms, or wrap themselves around the sea kelp. Look at this little sea otter rolling around in the kelp forest. The kelp forest is a big part of their habitat. Now let's dive deep and learn a little bit about the great white shark. Great white sharks are the largest living predatory fish. They can grow up to 14 to 21 feet long and live 70 years or more. Although sometimes they accidentally attack humans, they would rather eat fish, seals, sea lions, and otters. Their babies are called pups, just like sea otter babies. When the pups are born, they are already 4 feet long and able to take care of themselves. We are going to learn how to draw a sea otter using simple step-by-step directions and simple shapes. And then I'm going to teach you how to draw a great white shark. Also, easy step-by-step. Yay, let's draw a sea otter together. As usual, I'm going to use my whiteboard because I can make mistakes easily on my whiteboard and not worry about it. I just simply erase them, start over, or try again or try in a new way. So if you would like to follow along with me on your whiteboard, make sure you have it now, or you can also just use paper. If you use paper, remember, draw lightly with your pencil. That means draw softly with your pencil just in case you need to erase your lines. Now, I told you I'm going to teach you how to draw a sea otter with some simple shapes, step by step. So remember, first I go and then you go, and then I go and then you go. If you need to pause or rewind at any time, feel free to do so. Okay, I'm going to start with the sea otter's head. And for the sake of just learning how to draw a sea or otter, we're just going to start with a circle. And I'm going to do a circle over here in this corner. So if I were to chop my whiteboard in half, I have kind of two sides here, right? I'm going to start with the circle up in the upper left hand corner. So just watch me. A simple circle. And if it's not perfect, who cares? Sea otters' heads are definitely not perfect circles anyways, right? All right, the body is like a half circle. Now, I'm just going to draw a half circle really quick. Do not do this, okay? Just in case you don't know what a half circle is, it looks like this, right? That's a half circle, because if I were to draw a whole circle, it would look something like this. So we're going to draw a half circle for the body, but this head is sort of in the way. So just watch me first, okay? Watch how I just do a simple line over like this, right from the middle of the circle. And I'm going to go ahead and do a curved line back up to the head. Just watch me. Just watch me and then follow along. So basically like that. So if I were to draw the whole half circle, it would go through the face. And if that helps you to do that, go ahead and then you can just erase it later. But I'm going to continue. Now, sea otters have kind of a long, roundish tail, and I'm going to draw it here. It's going to extend almost all the way to the end of my whiteboard. Just watch me, please. This is like a very tall and skinny arch for the tail, a very tall and skinny arch. If I were to turn it this way, it'd be like a very tall and skinny rainbow. That's what I mean when I say arch. All right, let's get back to business here. Now I'm going to create the face. If you ever look at a sea otter's nose, they have these fantastic large noses, and the nose is going to go down here, and you'll see why in just a minute, because the eyes sort of go up here and the mouth is close to the chin, even on a real sea otter. And my sea otter is just going to have a very simple face for now, the first time I draw it. So two little curved lines from the bottom of the nose, two little eyes. The eyes are going to be a little bit small in comparison to the rest of the face and the nose. They're smaller than the nose. If you make them larger, totally fine. It's up to you. And they have these really cute little ears on their side of their head that are actually kind of small. And they're just little round, little sort of half circles, right? Or little round arches on the side of the head. Let's keep going. Now my sea otter is going to have one little arm sort of curling up on the side of his body here, and you can change it if you want. But just for the sake of keeping it simple, just for the first time that we're making a sea otter, I'm going to make a very just a curved line. So just watch me, okay? Just a curved line, kind of like that. So it's, once again, it's kind of like an arch if you look at it this way. A curved line up and a curved line down. And he's got some wonderful back leg flippers. So just watch me. I'm going to start with a simple round line like this. So it's like the letter C. See how that's just like the letter C? And a line down, kind of curving in, and I'm just going to stop. I'm going to make some three little lines in this foot and three little lines on my flipper to suggest the toes, right? And I'm going to do a little foot coming over on this side and a little hand coming over on this side. This is kind of like the hands on the other side, right? Because our sea otter is lying on its back in this particular position. Okay, from here, you can do lots of fun things. It's floating in the sea, right? So you can add some water like this. It's floating on its back. You could add some kelp, some seaweed kind of coming up from below the sea and the sea kelp. You could add a beautiful sunshine. You could add some clouds. There's so many things that you could do with this simple sea otter drawing. In the next few minutes, I will give you some ideas on what you can do with your cute little sea otter. But for now, let's go ahead and erase it and let's draw a great white shark together, shall we? I'm kind of excited about drawing a great white shark. Now, if you get this first shape correct, then the rest of the shark will be super easy. But the first shape is a little strange. It's a little difficult. So I would suggest using your whiteboard once again, just so you kind of practice it until you come up with this shape, because the shape I'm going to do is the body, and then we're going to add the details, and we're going to add the fins, and we'll talk about the names of those fins as well. Okay, so my shark is going to fill up the whole space of my whiteboard, but I'm going to need to leave some room for his back fin, for his caudal fin. So the shape of a shark, now just watch me, it's going to be like almost like a long skinny seed pod, or like a long skinny bullet shape. So just watch me. I'm going to do a very gentle arched line like this. So look, it's just a very gentle, it doesn't go up super high and down. It's like a very nice slope. Like, just think of it as a very beautiful sloping mountain like this. And now I'm going to come back and I'm going to connect this end to this end with the same kind of curve, but opposite. So just watch me and you'll understand what I'm talking about. So I'm going to kind of pull it around like this all the way back to the beginning. So it kind of looks like an eye, doesn't it? It kind of looks like an eye or some kind of natural seed pod. And now we're just going to add some details. So first of all, I am going to add the dorsal fins on top. Now, this great white shark has 2 dorsal fins on top, one close to the middle and one close to the back end. Watch me first. The dorsal fin is basically a triangle. That's right. So here's about halfway, and I'm just going to move a little bit back halfway. If you need to put a little mark like that to show the half, that's fine. So I'm going to make my fin is just basically a triangle. See that? So there's our first dorsal fin. Now they also have another dorsal fin closer to the tail. So the tail is going to be down here. So I'm going to do a small triangle here, closer to the tail like that, a small triangle just like that. So it's just basically the same kind of triangle, but closer to the tail. And now watch me do the tail. The easiest way to do the tail, boys and girls, is to start with 2 lines. So watch me, please. 1 line like this, and also one going down the other direction like this. If you turn your shark like this, it would be kind of like a V or the letter U. Do you see that? And now I'm going to connect some lines. So I'm going to come back to the middle here. So watch me, okay? 1 line sort of like that. And then we're going to connect it to the top. So really, it's almost like 2 triangles together. Remember, if you need to rewind this at any time, please do, because sometimes it goes a little fast or gets confusing. All right, the pectoral fin. This is the big triangular fin that is under, sort of more under, closer to the chin. And it's also a triangle, but this is going to be a little trickier because it actually sort of starts in the middle of the body, and I already have a line here. So I'm not going to worry about that line right now. Just watch me. I'm going to do an upside down triangle. I'm not going to connect it on top though. I'm not going to connect that one on top. But what I am going to do is use my finger to erase that line there. You see how I did that? I just got rid of that line. So easy with the whiteboard. If you use a pencil, I hope you are drawing softly so you can just erase that line. And they also have a pelvic fin. The pelvic fin is also closer to the tail on the bottom, just another tiny triangle, sort of like that. So far, so great, right? Easy peasy or what? Okay, let's go ahead and do the mouth and then the eye, and then you can sort of think about what kind of other details you want to add to your shark. I'm just going to do it really simple, okay? I'm going to pull in his mouth. So kind of from his nose, I'm going to pull in a line like this. And you know, I'm not exactly happy with his face here. So I'm just going to erase it because what I kind of was looking for was his nose to be a little bit higher. I kind of wanted his nose to be more like this. And so thank goodness that I am using a whiteboard so I can practice until I like his face better. That's a little bit better. So I kind of like that nose a little bit better. And eyes, relative to their size, their eyes are actually kind of small, right? And their gills, so how they breathe. And I'm just going to do some simple curved lines about right there to sort of suggest the gills. Now, a great white shark is not a great white shark without all those teeth, right? So if you want, you could add some teeth. And if you look at a real great white shark, they often do have some teeth that kind of are spilling out of their mouth like that. They're kind of silly looking creatures, aren't they? So this is my easy peasy great white shark. Once again, in the next few minutes, I can show you what you can do with this great white shark drawing, give you some ideas on how to add different colors or different kinds of paper. I can't wait to see your great white shark and your sea otter artwork.